Hey, what's going on, guys? So today I'm going to be reviewing two books at the same time, both integral to each other. I'm going to be reviewing the Batman White Knight and the Batman Curse of the White Knight. I'm going to be reviewing them together because they're basically back-to-back stories. Honestly, I could see them doing a collected issue. And I know there's a new one coming out for the Harley Quinn series that's out right now. But yeah, so let's dive right into this. So starting off with Batman White Knight, it retails at $25.99 Canadian or $19.99 USA. It's basically a story where the Joker becomes sane through some kind of pills and no one knows where they came from. He becomes sane and he basically wants to prove that the GCBD is corrupt, that Gotham is all a bit of a ploy, the 1% is tricking everyone, and that Batman's all an integral part of it. So let me just read the back. The Joker goes sane. Set in a world where the Clown Prince of Crime has been cured of his madness, Batman White Knight follows the man now known as Jack Napier as he embarks on a quest to heal the city he once terrorized. After reconciling with his long-suffering partner Harley Quinn, he sets in motion a carefully plotted campaign to discredit the one whom he views as Gotham City's true enemy, Batman. His crusade exposes a decade-long history of corruption within the Gotham City Police Department and transforms Napier into a city councilman and civic hero. But when the sins of his past return to threaten everything that he's accomplished, the distinctions between savior and destroyer begin to break down for both the Joker and Batman alike, and with them, any hope for Gotham's future. So this is by Sean Murphy with Matt Hollingsworth. It's a DC Black Label story, so it's not canon or anything. It's like an Elseworld story. So yeah, let's take a look at the art before I get too much into the story. I really do love this art. I like the take on Bane particularly. I thought it was a really cool redesign. And kind of getting to see how the Joker would act if he was sane is pretty interesting as well. See if I can find some cover art for you guys to look at as well. What I like too is that here's a nice little cover right here. Is that between issues you'll see a quote that's going to eventually come up in the story. So it's a bit of a prelude. So this one here says, "Gotham's losing its patience with you," and of course that comes up later in the actual issue, which I think is pretty interesting. The look for the Joker is just spectacular, absolutely amazing. So that's the art. Honestly, it's beautiful, it's unique. It's got unique takes on all of the villains and Batman too. The look for Batman was very different, something I'd never really seen before, and honestly, one could argue that the 2022 Batman pulled some inspiration from this story. So, story. It's dark, it's gritty, it's intricate. I mean, it's a DC Black Label story, so of course it's going to be on the darker end of the spectrum. It really doesn't hold back when it comes to talking about like the really ugly things in life. One thing that I really liked is it keeps you guessing. There's a lot of mystery behind this entire story, and constantly kind of just leaves you like wanting more. One thing that I really appreciated, something that I think is integral in terms of story writing, is just the concept of getting to know a person, not just seeing them in action, but like how they think and what they would do in scenarios. And to me, this book was like a deep dive into the Joker and Batman's psyche, kind of just giving you an idea of who these people really are underneath behind all the action and adventure. And like I said, unique takes on all the villains, like Harley, Bane, and Mad Hatter. They had this weird little plot twist thing that was only like, it appeared for like a quick second, where the Harley Quinn that we know, like the one that we saw in Suicide Squad, and like one's got like the choke and like all that stuff, like the new look Harley, isn't even Harley Quinn. It's someone who just kind of stepped in and took Harley's place, and the Joker didn't even notice because that's how insane he was. So the old Harley never really changed. She just left because she couldn't stand the abusiveness of the relationship anymore. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And the weirdest part about this book, I think, is that it makes you root for the Joker. You're literally sitting there like, holy crap, maybe Batman isn't that good. And like, you're kind of just reading like, did Batman know about all this corruption all along? Because it's an Elseworld story. You don't really know. And you get to see even more about the Joker's obsession with Batman, his obsession to like be with Batman and to like befriend him. Something I will say though is that the ending of the story was perfect. It ended in such a way that makes you want to read more, and luckily there is a lot more to read. Some cover art. I think you guys should see. It looks great. Yeah, so this kind of just leads directly into Curse of the White Knight, and I think this is an excellent story. If you can pick it up, do it. Great book. I highly recommend it. So moving on, let's take a look at Curse of the White Knight. So this Curse of the White Knight is a hardcover format. I know it doesn't match with my paperback format, but I got this one at discount for like $15 or something, so I think that was fully worth it. It regularly retails at 40 Canadian dollars or 30 American dollars. And this one also introduces the character Azrael. So he was previously seen in, like, I don't know, what's a good example? I guess Nightfall, the Nightfall story. When it comes to Azrael taking over for the Batman later on in the story. So this is also by Sean Murphy with Klaus Janson and Matt Hollingsworth, another DC Black Label, obviously. So this is the front cover, spine. The back, we see Azrael with a sword. So I'll just read the story real quick before we dive into it. The Sword of Azrael Unleashed. The urban jungle that is Gotham City is being torn apart by the war between Batman and the Joker. A war in which the difference between a hero and villain has become impossibly blurred. Now, with his do-gooding Jack Napier personality submerged beneath an ascendant clown prince of crime, the Joker is ready to take that war to the next level, and his army has a new recruit. Wielding a flaming sword and bearing the weight of hundreds of years of history on his shoulders, Azrael is a knight darker than any that Gotham has seen before. One by one, the Batman's enemies will fall beneath his blade, and bit by bit, this new crusader will remake Gotham City into his own version of heaven on earth. Only Batman and his estranged allies can help him, but the distrust between them runs deep, and when the Joker and Azrael expose the hidden history of the Wayne family, all faith in the Dark Knight may be shattered for good. So what's nice about this is it doesn't just include the Curse of the White Knight, it also includes the Batman White Knight presents Von Freeze one-shot. So that was another integral story to the White Knight universe. And I thought it was pretty interesting. I didn't really like the art too much on it. I thought it was good. It was a weird transition for art styles, but it's an excellent story. That's the hardcover sleeve. And now we're looking at the actual hardcover. See, what I like about this is, I don't know if you guys can tell on video, but it's actually made of like some kind of like weird fabric material. Like here, like you can hear it. Like it's soft, and I've never really had a hardcover like this before. It's always been like a weird, like slick plastic kind of thing, and like I hate it because you get fingerprints all over it. But this is perfect. I think this should be more normalized as a hardcover. But yeah, the art is just amazing. Once again, they definitely did not fall off between stories. I'll show you some more that I can find. Of course, this is a hardcover edition, so the paper quality goes up. It's more glossy and thick. We see a lot more of like the Bat family, and like we see more of Batman's origins in the White Knight universe. And once again, it's still using those unique takes on the villains, and you get to see now a unique take on Azrael in his Batsuit, which I think is just so cool. What's interesting in this universe, however, and this is the transition to, this is like the art for the Von Freeze issue. What I found interesting about this universe is, in this universe, Batman had Jason as a Robin before he had Dick, which is, to me, really, it's weird because like it's a unique take. But anyways, you know, Nightwing still becomes Nightwing. Like there's nothing really different about that, but yeah. So that's the art, just as solid as the Batman White Knight. And you can tell like they're definitely building off of the old story, and I respect that. And you get more lore and something more intricate when it comes to who these people are. Like it said on the back, there's like a really dark secret that gets unveiled about the Wayne family. One I did not see coming at all, and usually I can predict books. This one kept me guessing, and that's a good thing. I really did enjoy the story. You know, like you get to kind of see Batman's thought process when it comes to dealing with someone like this, and you even see a little bit of detective skills. For me, I think one thing that's been lost upon the newer Batman that I really am sad about is the detective skills. Um, they kind of just delve way too deeply into the Dark Knight, you know, brutal fighting, and I love that. I do, but he's also the world's greatest detective. You know, like you gotta keep that there somewhere. Otherwise, you're losing like a key part of who Batman is, and to not include that, I think is just a shame. And I'm happy that they did include detective skills. And one thing I love even more, they feature all of the Batmobiles, all of them. I forgot to mention that. That's also in Batman White Knight. Like this, God, this is one of my favorite Batmobiles. Like, oh, like I might get hate for that, but like I just love all of the Batmobiles and their designs. They even have the tumbler too, which is just like spectacular. You see the tumbler right here. Like, oh my gosh, I just loved seeing all the different Batmobiles. Like I was flipping shit. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. So, yeah, that is the Batman Curse of the White Knight. Ultimately, guys, if I were you, I would pick both these up simultaneously at the same time because they're both excellent reads. And once you finish Batman White Knight, you're going to be sitting there like, I want to read the next one. So if you have it with you, you'll be happy. Like, this story really is a unique take on the Bat and like his entire family. Like, it's not what you're used to when it comes to Batman, but I think that's good. You know, it needs to be shaken up a little bit, and ultimately, this is great. I'm waiting for the DC presents Harley Quinn or Batman White Knight presents Harley Quinn to come out in paperback form so I can read that because I'm really interested to see how that goes. But altogether, these two books were spectacular, and I would recommend them to anyone who has a couple extra bucks lying around that wants to pick up some cheap paperbacks or hardcovers. Yeah, you can find the links to these in the bio below. I'm going to include them just for ease of access, so you guys don't have to go looking for them. I'll put the Amazon links down there. Hopefully they're at a discount, so that way you guys can save some money. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe, like the video, comment down below. Let me know what you want me to review in the future. I know I saw a comment about the Blackest Night Omni. I will get to it, I promise. I just have so much stuff to read right now, and like the Blackest Night Omni just kind of got put on the shelf and it's been collecting dust in the plastic wrap. I haven't even opened it yet, but I will get to that, I promise. Make sure you guys stay safe and healthy, and I will see you in the next one.